From WXII 12 News, this is breaking news.
And breaking news tonight comes to us from the city of Winston-Salem. 2 men have been shot at a major road closed now for hours.
Now, our Brandon Bates is live in southeast Winston-Salem out by the mall with what police know so far. Brandon?
Yeah, that's right. Good evening to both of you. Police responded to 2 separate calls tonight. The first one is right behind me. You can see this is at the corner of Peachtree and Argonne Boulevard in Winston-Salem. Police are still trying to figure out everything that's going on. When they got a call to this neighborhood, it was for a gunshots being fired call. Here you can see police still on the scene. Fast forward just a few minutes later, police responded to 2 men who were found with gunshot wounds on the exit ramp of I-40 and Haynes Mall Boulevard. While they cannot officially say if those 2 calls are connected, officers say that is highly likely that they are. One of the 2 men found shot had life-threatening injuries. The other is in critical condition after being shot in the stomach. Both men were transported to local hospitals, and the I-40 westbound ramp was closed for a few hours, but we are told that ramp has since been opened. Back here live at Peachtree Street, evidence markers scattered along the street. As you can see, investigators are trying to piece this whole thing together. We are told that both men that were found near that car with gunshot wounds are over the age of 18. As far as their identity, we don't have that information just yet, but once that comes to us, we will let you know. You can stay with us on our website, WXII12.com, for the latest details. Reporting live in Winston-Salem, Brandon Bates, back to you.
More breaking news, this time in Greensboro. Police are trying to figure out who shot and seriously hurt one person in a neighborhood near the intersection of Julian Street and South Benbow Road. Officers say they got a call about gunshots going off around 5:30 on Tuscaloosa Street, then learned the shooting actually happened on Julian. Investigators say they don't have any information yet on the shooter.
More breaking news now in downtown Winston-Salem. At this hour, a hazmat unit is trying to contain a diesel fuel spill because of this, a bad wreck. This video comes to us from the Winston-Salem Fire Department's Twitter feed. It shows the scene where a tractor trailer hit a building. This is going on Main Street, not far from the Business 40 improvement project, where the road is all shut down. Firefighters say despite the way this all looks, nobody was seriously hurt. Thankfully, Main Street will, however, be closed for several more hours until crews can get everything all cleaned up and sorted out.
The director of a rec center in Winston-Salem is facing sex charges tonight.
David Edge is his name. He's the director of the Miller Park Rec Center. Police right now are charging him with a number of crimes, including indecent liberties and sexual offense with a child. This investigation dates back to September of 2018. Police say Edge was formally indicted on those charges yesterday.
Authorities say an 8-year-old accused Edge of assaulting them in August of last year. Edge was charged this past July for indecent liberties. The city's Parks and Rec Department was made aware of the charges. We are working to find out his employment status.
New tonight at Brunson Elementary School in Winston-Salem, school leaders talked about building a new facility in what would be called Industrial Hill in Winston-Salem.
Earlier this year, teachers sent us some pictures from the inside of the current school building. They say mold was causing students and staff there to get sick. Bond money from Forsyth County voters approved 3 years ago would pay for the new school. Parents and teachers came to tonight's discussion to get their questions answered regarding the new possible location. It would be in the same district as the current school, but on the other side of town. The merger of BB&T at SunTrust and SunTrust now has the final regulatory green light. Today, the Federal Reserve said it approved the merger, sealing the largest tie-up of banks since the 2007 financial crisis. The $66 billion merger is expected to be completed by December 6th. The banks previously announced their intent to combine and create a new bank called Truist that would be based in Charlotte.
Next to Commitment 2020, a new poll shows most Democrats have not picked a favored candidate for the U.S. Senate primary, which is now less than 4 months away. A total of 4 Democrats have announced intentions to run for this seat, currently held by Republican incumbent Thom Tillis. Bill O'Neill breaks down the impact this has on everyone running in the race on both sides of the aisle.
North Carolina is considered a key state of the fight for control of the U.S. Senate in next year's elections. The latest poll shows that the campaigns of Democrats here in North Carolina have not reached voters, not yet. A Fox News poll finds nearly half of North Carolina Democrats don't know who they'd like to see as their party's nominee for U.S. Senate. Erica Smith, a state senator from Charlotte, is the favorite. The A&T graduate outpolled Cal Cunningham, a former state senator, and Trevor Fuller, a former Mecklenburg County commissioner.
Half of Democrats don't know their candidates.
UNCG political scientist David Holian says the big takeaway from the early poll is the number of voters who say they don't know.
The fact that 50% of Democrats don't have enough information to make a choice suggests to me that the candidates have been unable to break through.
Erica Smith issued a statement in response to the poll saying, quote, "I am encouraged by these poll numbers, especially since my primary opponent has had the support of 20 New York billionaires and more than $250,000 from committees funded by corporate and special interest PACs." The Cunningham campaign also issued a statement, quote, "As an Army veteran, Cal's focus remains where it has always been, on serving the people of North Carolina and fighting to bring better leadership to Washington." Political scientist David Holian says it's not surprising more voters are not engaged in the Senate race just yet.
You know, given the fact that there's so much air is being, taken out of the political world by impeachment, it's maybe no wonder that statewide candidates are having a little trouble.
So far, only one Democrat has raised any serious money for the Senate race. Cal Cunningham raised more than $1 million in the last quarter, roughly the same amount as incumbent Thom Tillis. In Greensboro, I'm Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
And here are some key dates for you to keep in mind. The primary election in North Carolina will be Tuesday, March 3rd. The Democratic National Convention, July 13th through the 16th in Milwaukee, followed by the RNC in Charlotte, August 24th through the 27th. Election Day is November 3rd.
Well, it's shaping up to be an important week for Democrats in the ongoing race for the White House. The next debate is going to be tomorrow. Just 10 candidates are appearing on stage this time. There were 12 at the last debate. You can see who they are here on your screen. This debate will be co-hosted by MSNBC and The Washington Post. It's happening in Atlanta. The debate begins at 9 o'clock. Still more breaking news on this busy Tuesday night. This comes out of Burlington. Police right now in the area of 800 Grace Avenue responding to a shots fired call. There's a large police presence in that area, we are told. People are being asked to stay away if at all possible. We'll stay on top of this and update you on television and online as soon as we learn more. Commitment 2019 now. The election was about 2 weeks ago, but the High Point City Council race in Ward 6 is still not over tonight. And looking ahead tomorrow, the Guilford County Board of Elections plans to hold a special meeting to do a recount. According to our news gathering partners at the High Point Enterprise, challenger Michael Holmes has a slight lead over Councilman Jason Ewing, but the race still hasn't been certified yet. The recount begins tomorrow afternoon at 2. This is happening at the old Guilford Courthouse in Greensboro.
Nearly 150 bus drivers in Guilford County say they won't be driving their normal routes at least next Monday and Tuesday. Instead, they're going to be calling for higher wages in front of the county commissioners' chambers. The bus drivers say they don't have a livable wage, and that needs to change. County Commissioner Board Chair Alan Branton calls the planned walkout, quote, foolish and, quote, in poor taste. He says he thinks the drivers should take their fight to the state level and not plan any demonstration on a school day.
He also says he has funds from a recent six-figure transportation position created by the school district, and that could have been used to give the bus drivers better salaries. Meanwhile, the school district says it's already given bonuses to bus drivers this school year. School district leaders also say the planned walkout is a, quote, breach of trust because it potentially could leave little boys and girls without the ability to get to school safely early next week.
We love all the kids we drive. We have a relationship with them personally. No, I do not want to leave my kids at the stop. No, I do not want them to feel like Miss Ray is not coming, because Miss Ray is caring, and I do care. But at this moment, it's time to stand. We're going to stand now, or it's going to be never.
I'm really concerned because we have such a high free and reduced lunch population that there will be students who won't be able to eat if they can't come to school. So, having this be a concern during already a short week when we're concerned about, kids eating and being in school, that creates a bigger concern.
School district leaders say they were caught off guard, frankly, by the planned demonstrations, and they're working right now to create alternative plans to make sure all students are able to get to school next week. All of the bus drivers' requests, by the way, have been denied. Meanwhile, the drivers say they could continue to protest after the Thanksgiving break is over, and the walkout could ultimately last a lot longer than just 2 days.
New tonight, Danville police are mourning the loss of one of their own. The department says Officer Eric Goff died unexpectedly at his home yesterday evening. It says Goff distinguished himself as an officer and was recognized as Officer of the Month back in July. The department is working to support his family.
A new partnership between the Winston-Salem Police Department and the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office is aiming to curb a recent uptick in crime in the city, particularly gun crime. This new group is called the Violent Firearms Augmentation Task Force. Winston-Salem Police Chief Katrina Thompson says she sat down with the Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough and the DA Jim O'Neill to talk about what they could do differently to prevent and eliminate homicides altogether. The sheriff offered up some off-duty deputies to help the police department hit some troublesome areas, and since the task force kicked off Thursday, they've arrested 27 people and seized 37 weapons.
As we take a live look at Capitol Hill, the high-stakes impeachment investigation is heating up. 4 key witnesses publicly testified on Capitol Hill today. Meanwhile, President Trump continues to slam the investigation, calling it a sham and a hoax. Brittany Conway catches us up on the events of today.
I've learned many things that I did not know at the time of the events in question.
Former Special Envoy to Ukraine Kurt Volker flipping his script from his past testimony to House impeachment investigators, now saying he realized Ukraine aid was, in fact, linked to a dirt for dollars scheme.
I opposed the hold on U.S. security assistance as soon as I learned about it on July 18th, and I thought we could turn it around before the Ukrainians ever knew or became alarmed about it.
Former National Security Council aide Tim Morrison testified that Vice President Pence did not mention investigations being the reason U.S. aid to Ukraine was held up during a meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky.
He represented his support for the aid. He represented the strong commitment of the United States to Ukraine, and he explained that President Trump, because this is after the Politico article had come out that made clear there was a hold.
This after a full day of testimony from Pence aide Jennifer Williams and National Security Council official Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman. President Trump again lashed out against the investigation.
You have a kangaroo court headed by Little Shifty Schiff, where we don't have lawyers, we don't have witnesses, we don't have anything, and yet I just got to watch. And the Republicans are absolutely killing it. They are doing so well because it's a scam. It's a big scam.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.